This is 100 feet of Roartisa reflective fluorescent green tape. I received this to review for free from the Amazon Vine Voice review program. Now, it would normally cost you $80 to buy this roll, and it's a lot more than I actually need to use right away. They have not paid me for this review, and my opinions are my own. So this is 100 feet. That is quite a lot. I really only need maybe 5 or 10 feet here. But you know, if you had an 18-wheeler or something and you were trying to mark a whole bunch of area, this is a large roll. So it looks quite reflective. We're going to be putting this onto a wooden fence post for a mailbox and a wooden dock. So I'm interested in seeing how well it adheres to the porous wood surface. So I'm going to cut off a couple of 4-inch chunks that'll be nice squares, and then probably an 8-inch chunk to go on a pole. So it cuts very easily with a pair of sharp scissors. It cuts very easily with a precision paper cutter if you want to get a nice straight edge. Ran into a bit of an issue in that the US, the 4x4 pole here is actually a 3.5 pole. But it cuts lengthwise just as well as it cuts crosswise. Alright, the little plastic back was super easy to peel off. I was worried it might be hard to pick a corner off, but that was super easy. Went on pretty well, seems to be adhering pretty well. We'll give it a shot after days and days of sun and rain. Now I have noticed right here there is a manufacturing line where you can see these stripes here don't quite line up, because obviously it looks like they're not manufacturing this thing in full 100-foot rolls, but they're manufacturing it and then sticking them together at some point. So there are every so often these tiny little seams which are almost invisible, but if you look at it in just the right light, sometimes these lines don't quite perfectly line up. Alright, and so the daytime, that's, you know, neon. At night, I imagine it's going to be much more reflective. Alright, let us put a reflective bit on each of the dock sections that can potentially float if the lake goes up higher. Well, that definitely enhances visibility in the daytime, and I imagine at night it'll do even better. So one thing I've found here is there's actually 3 layers. There's the back plastic protective adhesive layer, and then there's this white layer which is the kind of reflective stuff, and then there's a clear plastic front layer. And if you're not careful with how you peel it, sometimes instead of getting the clear plastic layer, you can get this white layer. Of course, it doesn't happen when I want to illustrate the purpose. So it's possible that you can accidentally pull that white layer a little bit at corners, and then you get, the reflective stuff's missing from that corner. It sticks to the front much better than the plastic layer, so generally you will pull the plastic off, but just keep in mind that there is this white reflective layer that's underneath the kind of that clear yellow plastic, and it is possible, if you're not careful when you pick a corner, to pick that up. You can definitely see the mailbox reflecting there now. So you really don't see these reflective strips unless there's light pointing at them. When there's light pointing at them, they do light up quite a bit. Now I'm off axis here. You can still see them, but it's not quite as reflective off axis. So yeah, this retro-reflective tape definitely shows up at night. If you're shining a light at it, it will reflect some light back to you very noticeably.